I'd get him because it's been a while. Oh, he fucking hit the roof.
Oh, I did jump. Wow.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, Dave, how are you?
Come on, Andrew, do your intro. Sorry.
Hello and welcome back to the Finish Line, proudly sponsored by Hollywood Bets, and another episode of Talking Pints. At Dave, my heart is going a million miles an hour right now.
Mine's not.
Oh, Halloween's around the corner. You're done. Done. Tom, welcome back. How was the honeymoon? How was married life? And are you divorced yet?
Thank you. I know. Look at this thing.
Get any clippos?
It's weird. No, I haven't got any clippos yet.
It's so confusing.
Wait. See, it's in shot now, so.
That is no, back a little bit, Andrew. Just a smidgen back, and that's very, very good branding. Yeah, nice one. That'll do. Yeah, honeymoon was great. A week in Rhodes, which I would recommend to anyone. Weather was fantastic, right on the beach. We were just outside Rhodes town, which is Rhodes Old Town is absolutely magnificent. It's huge. It's little windy streets. It's the castle. Yeah, it was fantastic. And the wedding wasn't bad either, lads. I think you had a good time.
That was all right, to say the least.
All we seen was pictures of you drinking in Rhodes, Tom. So stop lying to the people saying you were walking around windy streets and stuff. You were in the bar all the time.
The whole time.
Drinking shots and all that kind of stuff.
The day that we went into Rhodes Town, there was meant to be thunderstorms that morning, so we didn't feel too bad. But we went out to a karaoke bar in Faliraki and got absolutely battered. Had a fantastic night.
What did you
What's
sing?
that, Andrew?
What did you sing?
Didn't I go away without singing anything? A guy came up.
What's your
karaoke
karaoke song?
Up to me with a microphone.
What's your karaoke song?
Celine Dion has all come back to me.
Sing it.
No.
Come on.
So coming back, so coming. No.
Guess what mine is?
Yours?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be something like I want to have sex on the beach.
No. No.
Bon Jovi.
Oh, we killed him.
We killed 2 flies. You need to get an exterminator in here.
He just flew across the screen.
It's Marvin Gaye. Ain't no mountain high. Ain't no you know that one?
I thought it was
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I love that one. In that, in Remember the Titans or something like that, and they're all singing it.
Yes, in the dressing room.
There was one of the lads.
Sorry.
One of the lads did sing "Tell Me Something, Girl," or whatever that song is actually called. And I forgot the video, but I was giving it a lot for that.
Tell me something, girl.
Every time I hear it, I can't get it out of my brain.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Every time you hear it, I have the backer for the mares.
She won't win the mares.
She wears a will, mate. She wears a will.
She wears it well.
So go on, Tom.
Yeah, by the way, that's a Meatloaf song. Tom Leach is right.
What?
Yeah.
It's all coming back to me now.
No, it's not. It's a Celine Dion song.
Is it not Meatloaf?
No. Meatloaf was I will do acting for love.
Sing Meatloaf first there.
And I will do.
That's not bad, actually.
Yeah, that was very good. You really put that.
4 minutes in, 4 minutes in, and all we're doing is singing karaoke. We're back, lads. We're back.
Oh, brilliant. Oh,
yeah, no, it was great. The wedding was fantastic, and I put.
There's one bad thing about the wedding. I have to say, one bad thing. I stayed in Louis Fitzgerald. I walked into the room and went, "For fuck's sake, this is not Castle Martyr." Every hotel I'm going to walk into now, I'm going to be disappointed.
Big Jordan, your mug is on the way. Stop talking about it.
It's an epic hotel. If anyone's looking for a really good hotel to stay in near Cork, Castle Martyr, shout out to them. They were absolutely fantastic. It was
epic venue, unbelievable venue.
Yeah,
nice golf course.
Thanks, Dave. Nice. I'm glad that's what you took from my wedding. Nice golf course.
Not so nice greenkeepers.
You have an argument with your shadow.
But I told him to fuck off, so that was the main thing.
And then you felt bad. I've never heard you feel bad.
I kind of felt bad. He came at me, so I was like, don't be coming at me. I have a club in my hand.
Hungover Dave with golf clubs.
Genuinely, like.
I'm so glad this is the first time hearing about this.
Do you not hear about it?
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah, I went out. I went when I organised to go play golf. Your man said all the members have the tee times, and they'll be going out in the first. So if you're early, just go out on the 10th and do the back 9. So play 9 holes. So I did what the man told me. Well, if I did, when I was walking to the 15 green, your man pulled up in his little buggy and started giving out to me, and I went,
Who the fuck is that guy?
"Who the fuck are you giving out to?" He's like, "You." So get back in your buggy now and fuck out of my face.
So true.
And then there was a discussion for a little while, and he apologized to me twice after it. So
The thing that you take out of this is, don't ever go play golf at 7:30 in the morning after you've been drinking all day. Second off, there's a lot better things to be doing at 7:30 in the morning in a hotel room as big as Castle Martyr.
sleep.
There's a lot of places to explore.
I don't sleep.
It's the whole point. You won't be sleeping.
Do you want to elaborate?
What? No, make
Who?
tea and coffee.
Oh, yeah. There's good coffee facilities down there.
Well, I thought the worst part of the night was when we were on the way to bed, and I'd heard there was a room party organised. I then realised the room party was in my 15-year-old stepson's room. And as we walked in, this party was in full flow. There's about 25 people giving it socks. There's a guitar, there's bottles, there's whiskey, there's vodka. They're doing it properly, in fairness. So I thought, this is actually quite good fun. I said, who's next door? And they said, oh, some of our neighbours who were at the party. Fantastic. And who's in the other room next door? My 80-year-old grandmother. I nearly dropped dead. Thankfully, Nan had her hearing aid out. Woke up the next morning and was like, I thought I heard something, but I was just dreaming, and went back to sleep. Absolutely ideal. The ballsiness of them, lads. The ballsiness of them, right? COVID times, they've got about 25 of them in a room party. Absolute full flow, like proper job, in fairness. They ordered ice from reception to get dropped down to the room.
That's
They do it.
Fair fucks, like
That's
good going.
Anywho, what? What?
Tom Leach emailed me. We've been busy, so the mugs are being sorted this week. There was like issues.
You're never getting them mugs, lads. Give up.
No. The money has changed hands. Andrew sorted them out when he's not as busy this week.
He couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery.
Tom Leach, you're the last one. Send me an email or one of them things.
One of them things. Slide into me DMs. Right. Anywho. Tom, can we have an after wedding party back at Castle Martyr? Your year anniversary can go back.
Well, they'll be going. We won't.
I've got a free weekend there for my year anniversary. So if you want to come along, you probably can. Just surprise us.
Surprising by being in the room.
Surprise! Hiding in the cupboard.
Okay, maybe not that far, lads. That's a bit too far now.
So you always take them one step too far. I was waiting for the video camera next.
Sorry.
Anyway, we're here to talk about everything that happened over the weekend, all the talking points, and so on and so forth. We're going to start off with for something that gets. No, we'll just talk about it when we get into it then. Third time lucky, an Arkle contender. After his magnificent performance on Saturday, he's been slashed into 12s. I think the shortest he's gone to for the Arkle. On the back of that, Dave O'Keefe, Arkle contender, yes or no?
She isn't a hope in the Arkle.
Thank you very much.
If he runs in the Grand Annual, I'd back him.
Yeah.
We might want to put him away till then.
Yes, they might. Like, I seen a picture of the Racing Post put up comparing him to Arkle.
Was that not just a piss take, surely?
Oh, I hope to God it was a piss take. But you know what, Tom? It probably wasn't, because that's the way the Racing Post do things these days. Shite.
Yeah.
No,
he was impressive. I thought he'd win, but like he won't win the Arkle.
It was a good round of jumping. No doubt about it. Good performance. you will see 10 better performances than that this season.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't get it whatsoever. Tom, what you make of it?
I mean, in fairness, this is what happened. This is what happens now, and like we do focus a lot on Cheltenham, and I love focusing on Cheltenham because it is the pinnacle of our sport, and it's what crowns like the cream of the crop, doesn't it? So I'm not going to slag focusing on Cheltenham, but we do say any time a horse goes in and puts a good performance in like this, we also almost straight away say, will it win that race at Cheltenham? And the answer is 9 times out of 10, no. So then we crab that horse. In fairness to this lad, I thought this was an excellent display of jumping. I thought it was a really good run. Dan Skeleton's team aren't exactly firing either. They're 4 out of 32, 13% strike rate the last 24 days. But this lad, like, the one thing you could definitely say, I think, about him is he's going to be a lot better chaser than he was a hurdler. He was rated 144 over hurdles. He was sixth for Cheltenham off 143 in the county hurdle. I agree, Andrew. If this lad was off high 140s in something like, or sorry, Dave, I think you said it, in something like a Grand Annual, I would give him a hell of a chance. The way the Arkle fell apart last year, as in numbers wise, you could run him in it and he'd probably finish third based on last year's. I think there would be horses better than him. But in fairness to the horse, he's definitely going to be better than he was over hurdles, over fences. And I thought it was a really good performance. And, you know, there's a lot to look forward to with him. I'm sure he'll win a graded novice chase in the UK. Arkle-wise, I'm not too sure. But just take this performance on its own. It was a really good performance.
See, the reason I think he'd have a chance in the Grand Annual is because, like you were saying about the Arkle, it could be short in numbers and it could get tactical. In the Grand Annual, there'll be 20, 25 horses. You can bury them away. They'll go pretty fast, and they can't go fast enough for him because he just doesn't settle. He didn't settle the other day and just pulled himself to the front and jumped away anyway and won. The opposition was inferior. If he's in the Grand Annual, like you said, Tom, off like low 140s, and they're bombing it along the whole way, and he's just buried at the back, he'd have a right chance. He had a chance in the county hurdle, but went to the front way too soon last year.
Yeah.
He went to the front about 2 hurdles too soon. So, and he still got up the hill, like came 6th.
He is actually a horse like, on that county hurdle run. He clearly likes Cheltenham. He's gone and bolted up there on his chasing debut. Admittedly, not beaten the world's greatest horses, but they're not completely useless at the same time. He's going to be off high 140s at best, if not 150. But yeah, if he went into it off of that, I would definitely be interested in him. You know, he's ran well at the course every time he's run there. So yeah, look, don't give up on him just yet. I wouldn't say.
No, it's not giving up on it. There's another problem that is in his way, and that's the person sitting on his back. For a horse that needs to come late, Dan, let's go for home at the top of the hill, Skeleton, is not the man for him. Harry, sorry.
Yeah, like
he's constantly doing it.
Yeah, he's
doing it the whole time.
He does tend to go a little bit too early.
You're gonna say come too early.
Yeah, I was. I'm not going to know.
You just did. But yeah, that's what I think will be his main problem if he goes in better races. I agree with Dave and Tom in regards to one of the big handicaps. But where do you target him now in regards to trying to keep him at low 140s? Like, there's not much he can run in if he wants to avoid his mark going up. You have the novice chase around at Tingle Creek time. You have the quarter star novice chase. That's over 3 miles, isn't it?
See, he might not run the best in the deep winter ground around Sandown or something like that, you know, in that grade 2 novice chase. And he could go in the Grand Annual then.
It's definitely something to.
He's one day I can see us coming back to at the Cheltenham preview and putting him up for a Grand Annual after he's been beaten a couple of times or something.
One to keep an eye on going forward for future references. Right, we're moving on now. Barnestown lad with a future in the staying division. Tom looked one of the leashiest horses you'll ever see in training. Off the bridle at the top of the hill, the only one off the bridle at the top of the hill. But he was the first one crossing the line when it mattered and looked like he was had a lot more left in the tank.
He did. In fairness, Sean Bowen was giving him reminders down the back. He was properly getting stuck. He gave him 2 sharp reminders, and it's probably what you want to see in a 3 mile stayer. Now, the only thing is, as I think you put it in the WhatsApp group straight after, Andrew, he's not going to get away with that in a better race. He's going to have to learn to travel a little bit better than that. He's not going to get away with that. But come to the finish, he was well on top. I think not the one. I definitely take him from it. I thought it was a lovely performance. They were 10 lengths clear. The first and second were 10 lengths clear of the third. And Dragon Bones, I thought, ran an absolute lovely race. Harry rode a waiting race on this one and was coming to last. And I think he was fully convinced he was going to win. And he just got outstayed and outbattled by John McConnell's horse. But Dragon Bones going back down in trip a little, maybe, even though she didn't stop, in fairness to her. Going back down in trip is an interesting one. And I can see her picking up a listed or a graded race over in the UK, especially if they're confined to mares sometime this season. I thought that was a really nice performance out of her. But the winner, look, they were saying he'll probably take the same path as, I can't remember the horse's name now.
Streets of Doyen.
Streets of Doyen. Yeah, Streets of Doyen. And I kind of feel it will end up like that. Turn into a nice horse without being good enough at that top level,
Might be something for the Albert Bartlett down the line. As one of these proverbial will have loads of runs this season, is a lazy type, might run into a place at a big price. I don't know what price he is now for. Look, we're talking about Cheltenham again, but I think he done this exact same thing at what's the name of the track? Whoa, what's the name of the track? The one that has the longest running in fucking history.
Kelso?
No, it's a summer track. I can't think of it. Cartmel, yes. He done the exact same thing at Cartmel.
I love Cartmel.
He was off the bridle for a good mile and he was in front, and Sean Bowen had some job to get him home.
Graham Butcher loves Cartmel in the comments.
It looks like a great little track.
Yeah, it's good.
There's caravans and everything inside.
Yeah, I like Cartmel.
But look, I say the faster to go, the better he'll be. But then there's the side that I was saying that if they go too fast and he gets out of his depth, he's going to take a hell of a lot of them to get back into it. So it's kind of a double-edged sword of, it's kind of a contradicting statement in a way. But he's that kind of horse that you don't know.
He won't win the Albert Bartlett.
No, he's not going to win the Albert Bartlett. 33 is the Albert Bartlett. No. It's way too early in the season to be putting him up for anything like that, especially on the back of that. What do you think?
Yeah, no chance.
Okay. Love Cartmel. Graham loves Cartmel.
See, told you.
Cartmel's a lovely track. Now, right, moving on again. Our next topic is, why do trainers change a winning formula? So this is in regard to storm control. Proverbial front runner jumps, gains lengths at his fences. Come Saturday, dropped in mid-division. Didn't get it whatsoever. For me, a horse that you have like that front runs, that gains lengths at his fences, you're wasting lengths by holding them up in midfield, taking a pull on them after every jump, where you could be gaining lengths upon lengths upon lengths at the front. So he made a mid-race move at the top of the hill, not even mid-race, a three-quarter race move at the top of the hill, where he could have been making that move where he's up front and gaining 3 or 4 lengths. Instead, he didn't even look like he enjoyed it. But this is the kind of thing you're very adamant about. If a horse was with Champ last year,
I hate it.
A Champ won, well, not won, but was second at Newbury, was it?
Yeah.
Over 2 miles, and then they dropped him in for the Gold Cup where he ran absolutely stinker. I don't know why did they change a winning formula. You're stepping up in grade. Obviously, you probably think you're not going to go as fast as the rest of them, and you might drop in mid-division. But if you're going to drop in from a front runner, you don't drop midfield. You go just behind the pack if you think there's going to be so much pace. I just don't get it.
Creatures of habit.
I don't get it.
They do what they do. Like, he's a front runner. He should. And I know there was other front runners in the race, but the races he won last year, there was other front runners, and he won the battle for front runner, and then ended up winning. So
He
it was silly to me as well, but that's the way it goes.
And he won the front runner in battle from gaining lengths at his fence because he was taking lengths out of the horses next to him, and he was making them make mistakes. I don't get it. Tom, can you wrap your head around that like this?
I think now I say I did a bit of digging into this. I literally read the comments from the jockey and the trainer after the race, and Storm Control, his last run last season was in the Topham and didn't jump very well at all, which is absolutely fine. Like normally is a very good jumper over regulation fences. Went and jumped the national fences, didn't really take to them. Absolutely fine, no problem with that. Back to regulation fences today. And what Kerry Lee said afterwards, trainer said, gelding baby lacking in confidence back over regulation fences, having run over the national fences at Aintree last time out. That tells me, I think they had it in their head that he lost his confidence at Aintree last time, and they wanted to drop him in, take a lead, and just get him to pop over them. Now, whether the horse has completely lost his confidence and will never jump like that ever again is another thing. However, that's not really his gig, is it? Like, we've seen him from the front being drilled at fences and jumping well. So I just think from that comment, that's why they dropped him in. They had it in the back of their head that he didn't jump well last time at Aintree, and they just wanted to get him a nice round of jumping into him. Which, look, is fair enough, but it didn't work, you know. But on this occasion, I think that's why they changed their plan. It'll be interesting to see what they do next time. In general, trainers changing plans, changing tactics, I'm not totally against it. I'm not totally against it. It's something like, it's something I like. We've obviously got a few horses running now, and tactics come up a good bit. And you know, I even if they're winning, I wouldn't be afraid to change tactics, or going up and trip, or back down and trip, or soft ground or good ground, or how we ride them. So I just think you change it compared to the horse. And if it's a winning formula, it's hard enough. It is hard enough to change, but sometimes they're winning and they're not winning as well as you think they would, and changing things sometimes works. But for that one, I think that's why I think his jumping went to pot at Aintree, and that's why they wanted to get a nice little round into him, and just didn't work.
Now, I'd understand that if Aintree was 3 or 4 weeks before this race. Aintree's back in April. I can't take that as an excuse if you're doing something like that, unless he's at home schooling and he's plowing through fences. We don't know. We're not seeing him school.
Actually, he runs at Cheltenham in November and wins.
Yeah, it could be. Who said it there? Joseph's there. Plot job. Could well be a plot job. They could be right.
He win.
We get his mark down. Blah blah blah.
10 to 1 November Cheltenham from the front, 3 mile, 3 furlong, something like that. Wins.
I don't know. I wouldn't rule out, and I wouldn't
know because I just told you.
I wouldn't put you off backing him at Cheltenham. I honestly don't think they were trying to do that on purpose, Rampant. No.
Now, just on what you said as well, you wouldn't be against it for different horses. Of course, you can do it with different horses. A lot of horses are very versatile, tactical wise, and sometimes you have plan A in your head to a jockey when he comes out, and that goes straight out the window after the start. He might miss the break or something. Then you're on to plan B, C, and D. But in regards to, just saying, as in regards to for horses that have their best performances when they're up front, I really don't get when they drop them back in. Fair enough, you're stepping up in grade. Say he was going into grade 1 and you drop him into Nick prize money or something like that, coming home fast at the finish. Fair enough, that's grand. But between that now, I don't get it. But anyway, that's for another day. What's next? Oh shit. It's not very jumpy. All right, our next topic is I like to move it. I like to move it. Yeah. We always thought he was the next new one. A quote from the Twiston Davisons.
So he'll be winning around Haydock. So
he'll be winning Haydock. Look
at Tom when I poured a new one. Oh Jesus.
A quote. I'm not making this up. He works as good as new one, if not better, I think I read as well. Jumping was a lot better at Cheltenham. He was the one that I fell on, I say, because I did. The rest of them, I hate him.
Trichronic is
Trichronic is
useless.
told you that.
Useless.
Cash.
He just doesn't jump well enough.
No,
He doesn't do anything well enough. Even on the flat, he's useless.
That's true.
He lacks the scope, and he lacks the scope to progress from
speed.
4 to 5. And he just doesn't jump well enough, in fairness.
I really wish Zanna here had a ran. I told you. I knew he wouldn't. I just knew it. And Gordo ran about 7 million horses, and he wouldn't run Zanna.
That's because he knows he's
Gordo.
worse.
Gordo, but
Gordo, he knows he's worse than bloody Titanic.
another one bet
Gordo,
today.
right.
The boss is Oscar. The boss is Yak.
The boss is Yak. What a no. Do you know who else?
Now that's a plot job. If you want a plot job, the boss is
Oh.
Oscar.
4 miler.
Boss is Oscar.
4 miler. Tom knows. I didn't even text Tom, but I told
Mentally told him.
I told Kubo this morning before the race. 4 miler.
Boss
Boss
is
is
Oscar.
Oscar.
Gordon says some horse staff.
Big Gordo's at the winning that. I think 5 out of 8
Big
years.
Gordo. It's gone from Gordo to Big Gordo now.
Big Gordo.
Jeez, where
The
did this
big
get
Gino.
next?
Like he won it last
Big
year.
G.
He wasn't training, but he won it last year. Like he trained Galvin for the race, so he won it. So you can count that.
Nah, I can't.
And then you
Ferguson
have
won it.
you have
Ferguson.
Tiger Roll, Ravens Hill, wasn't it? Is that the one? The one Jamie Codd won on the yellow. It was.
Yes.
Chicago Grey,
Oh, what a horse.
and there was another one.
Chicago
I'm really
Grey beat Beshabar that year. That was
Yeah.
tough to watch.
Like I'm telling
Go
you,
on, that's great to watch.
the boss's Oscar is 4 miler bound. He's ran twice at Cheltenham. He ran well the Martin Pipe, and then he won his second in the Pretemp set last year.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Dave, you're all right. You're 100% right on that. He's
He's
the form
slow.
runner.
He is really slow. Like
A great jumper either.
yeah, I'm for sure he's slow. Like
Totally off topic here. But anyway.
I like to move it. Back to why I like to move it anyway. I was actually quite impressed with this. I watched it the first time and I was like, am I, aren't I? And then I watched it back a couple of times and he still looks green. This is only his second run over hurdles. He's thrown in against Tritonic, who, in fairness, for all his faults, he's definitely not the worst horse in the world, is he, over hurdles? The favourite, one of the joint
he's
favourites.
as bad of a horse now as Man United are a football team.
God.
I was going to wait to get onto that, but as a Liverpool fan, this has been a fantastic afternoon. Watching United absolutely go to shit at Old Trafford, and Liverpool fans stood there at the end singing.
Professional football
We were
player.
in the middle of the podcast the other day, and I said to Andrew, they're 2-0 down. The time has finally come.
Ole
Sackage. Goodbye. Ole out. Go back to Norwegia. I was going to say Norway. And
Great country, I hear, this time of year.
thanks for being a club legend and all that, but goodbye and good night. And
Off.
somehow, again, he has more lives than even I have. And he escaped Wednesday, but there is no escaping this. There can't be.
No.
There
There
just
is
can't be.
not. Gary, I never watched it. Like when a football match is done, I turn over basically. But I actually said I'm not missing Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher at the end of this, and I'm not missing Ole's interview. And Gary Neville actually made a good point. He said what they won't do is what they did when they got Mourinho and Van Gaal in, is they kind of panicked. And they won't do that this time. They'll wait until the end of the season. They'll leave Ollie there and then they'll get someone in. I really think that's what happened.
Not if the fans
No.
turn on the club. It's just not going to work. But what I found bad was Liverpool actually stopped playing in the end. They could have won 10-0.
They
Like.
could if they were just taking piss.
When 5 went in, they were like, okay, we had enough of this, boys. You're useless. You are just useless.
So bad.
Harry Maguire,
How's he a football player? Let alone a defender.
he's that statue of Arkle outside Cheltenham. That's what he is.
No, that's a bad name to Arkle now.
That's what he is.
He's like the clock tower down.
I never
The
seen that.
clock doesn't even work. His brain doesn't even work.
Him and Luke Shaw ran into each other. They're two kids playing the playground. But dunk. Fucking idiots. Oh, lads.
I think he heard the hair. Trying to deal with that fucking shite.
He won't see the end of the season, and neither will the Spurs manager, because they are abysmal as well.
Nuno Espirito Setento,
Great
whatever his
name,
name
though.
is.
Great name. Get Antonio Conte in there. He'll be punching people in training and everything, and they'll win.
It's true. But anyhow.
Anyway, that I like to move it back to. I like to move it. I was
Your
quite
favourite
impressed with
horse.
that.
I like the name.
Second run over hurdles, and I'd be interested to see where he goes next. I'm not saying he's going to be a bloody champion hurdler or any horse or anything, lads. Like, calm down. But
he'll pick up the greater races through the season.
I'd stay on the right side of him next time, anyway. Definitely.
And he's not flashy now that people will latch onto him. I like him, and I like the way he moves. Now,
better start to the season for Twiston Davis this year.
Yeah,
he could be back
season.
in business. He was another one who had quite a year last year.
Before midnight, winning before 4.
And another, no, he's not Twiston Davis, Sam Thomas.
Sam Twiston Davis.
Yeah.
Now, if we're comparing performances and jumping performances, should this fella not be getting quotes for the champion chase?
Nah, he was
I'm
good,
going to say with a straight face.
He was good, but sure.
That's what I'm on
about. The other
about.
chap was giving him a lot of weight, wasn't he?
But this is what I'm on about. The whole, if you're basing prices on away horse jumps and wins.
Well, I'm sure
this fella won just as well as bloody.
I'm sure this fella is grand annual bound. Sure,
oh,
he's a handicapper, so
he is beats.
Nice horse though.
He is jumps very
nice
well.
Big, lovely horse.
He got an easy enough lead though, lads, didn't he?
He did.
Made the most of it. Yeah, there was a lot of money for him.
He's actually one I'd be on the other side of. I wouldn't. I'd be sketchy enough next time he turns up because he's going to be way over bet again next time now, and he's going to go up at least £6-7, isn't he? So he's going to be off probably 143. Yeah, I don't know. Fair play to Sam Thomas though. Like that horse came out of Nicky Henderson's and was getting beat off 128 around Catterick and Leicester. So he's done a hell of a job with him. Like fair play, he's done an amazing job. And look, he could still go on improving, but I just think he'll get over bet the next time because of what he did at Cheltenham, especially if they bring him back and run him at Cheltenham next time.
Yeah, agreed. I do agree. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Just on the football, lads, before we move on, Big Toe Dan has put out there. Steve Bruce is available.
Moving on. Fuck's sake.
I nearly said something there.
What?
I was just going to tell Tom to fuck off.
I am that smug Liverpool fan tonight, lads. I'm enjoying it. I won't lie.
Good to be back. Allmankind putting in a gutsy display to win the old Rowan Chase. Now, I'll put my hands up. I don't like this horse. Don't like him. Yeah, I don't like him. But today, he impressed me by the way he kept battling. I thought he was just a loony bin fronter or just belt fence. But look, I put my hands up. I was wrong. Where do you target him this year, though? He seems like he'll stay a trip.
I don't want nothing to do with this horse.
Yes. I was trying to be nice, but yes. Tom?
I thought this, to be honest, lads, was bloody brilliant. And I know we get slagged a lot for not bigging up English horses on this show. And that's because a lot of Irish horses are better than a lot of English horses. But for me...
Diplomatic.
Off 160 in a handicap, I thought he jumped fantastic.
Who's the only other two horses carried that weight in that race to victory?
Money Garden.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Corto Star.
That's the second one.
Yeah. So
it was a good
knowledge
performance.
Is key.
I think the track suits him as well, and I thought that was a hell of a performance. Even when he was in, like when he winged them, Harry was firing him at fences, and he was coming up. And then when he was in close, he was being really clever and not losing any ground. I really, honestly, I never thought I'd be impressed by that horse, but that was a fantastic performance for me.
Never in a million years that I think I'd see this horse stay past 2 miles.
They're best off staying at Aintree, though. Tom is right. He don't like Cheltenham.
No.
Yeah, I think he is better off at that track. He runs his race at Cheltenham, but I think that just suited him today down to the ground, you know?
You see, I think it's just Harry gets carried away at Cheltenham with him. It's like Hill, wee, let's go faster. And then boom.
Yeah, look,
the other side of it is though, and I know it was a good way carrying performance, but when Cotto won it and Monet's Garden won it, they were beating proper Grade 1 horses. He's beaten Itchy Feet and Midnight Shadow. And Nutswell clearly didn't run his race because he was being pushed along from about 6 out. So it was a terrible race.
Corto beat Exotic Dancer, if I'm not mistaken. Money Garden beat Corto.
Yeah. So, you know.
Yeah, look, it wasn't as good as those races.
It was a good performance, in fairness to him.
It was still a good performance though, and especially back at somewhere like Aintree, or even I could even see him running a good race at somewhere like Sandown or somewhere like that, because I think
Sandown is something,
yeah, I just think he keep going up that hill as well at Sandown. But no,
Kempton would probably be a good track for him.
Yeah, I honestly thought that was a good run.
It was no fairness to him. Oh, our last thing that we're going to start doing every week is our eye catchers of the week. Horses who we think is worth keeping an eye on after for his next run, or something that was absolutely thrown out the back and run on late to finish. That could be one to keep it on for the rest of the season. Who wants to go first?
Well, mine's a flat horse.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Fucking hell.
What?
Why?
That was flat racing.
What, Tom? Whatever I said to you about putting up horse for Dundalk, I take it back. It's the fucking jump they're back by.
Yeah, well, 2 flat horses.
Oh,
wow.
Where is Dave, and what have you done with him?
I thought Sissoko is one to look forward to next year.
Blazer.
He ran very well for an inexperienced horse. I don't think there's any bad thing being bet by the Aidan O'Brien horse.
Luxembourg.
And a horse that's done us a couple of favours in the podcast this year, won again in France, another Group 1, and I will follow him every race next year that they're soft in the description, Angel Bleu.
Angel Bleu.
And he will actually full on have a chance in the Guineas and any classic next year if they're soft ground.
Fair enough. I stopped listening after you said flat.
And Frankie was on him. Is always on him. And I don't like Frankie.
That's a lie, because you put him up a lot. Thomas.
The one I'm actually going back to the old Rowan Chase for my one to put up this week. The horse is Venetia Williams trained Banyan Destraval.
Oh, it was between him and the one I put up.
Came from nowhere. Literally with a second to go, looked like he was going to tail off. Ran on like an absolute bullet train to finish 4th, only beaten 4 lengths. That was his first run back. Venetia Williams has barely had any runners yet this year. I thought that was a lovely performance. This horse ran in some really good races last year. He ran in the Peterborough Chase. He ran in the Ryanair. He ran in, what was the one at Ascot? The Clarence House. And then he ran at Newbury in the Game Spirit. Like some top graded chases. Dropped back into a handicap of 52. I would be interested in this lad, right? And the race I'm actually interested for, he's only a 6-year-old still. He'd done a lot of winning in France before he came over. I think a summer's grass on his back, summer's sun on his back, and summer's grass on his back. That's an interesting one, isn't it? A summer of sun.
Copyright that shit.
A summer of sun on his back and summer's grass as well will have done this lad well to strengthen up. I thought that was a lovely comeback run. And off 152, the race I'm interested for him is the Paddy Power at Cheltenham if he turns up in November. I know it's only 3 weeks away, but if they were to pitch him in there, I'd be really, really interested in him.
Less.
Less than
2.5. Really, by tomorrow.
Can't wait. Yeah, that's interesting one now for that.
Venetia
see
Williams, heavy ground, November.
I can see it.
Back everything she runs.
I can see it. My one is Sky Pirate. For a horse having his first run, carrying top weight in the race that before midnight one, he looked like he was going to throw down a huge challenge 2 out. But fitness probably told and the weight.
Got a bit tired, didn't he?
Got a bit tired. I would follow him this season in grade 2 to grade 3 races. He has this running style. What the hell are you looking at?
Fly.
He has this running style where he travels fairly well, jumps really well. Fast-paced races are going to suit him. His main target might be going back-to-back in the Grand Annual. He's lumping a hell of a lot more weight down. He probably will need to come down the handicap a lot to get in. Jesus, he's massive.
That could be a cow, never mind a fly.
But I liked what I seen on Saturday. He looks like he's grown a bit. His jumping is still there. Travels so well. Look, the drop down to 2 miles last year was a making of. Can't see him turning up in the Paddy Power this year. He went for that. I think he nearly went off. I could be wrong. I think he nearly went off top of the markers. But yeah, I think grade 2s to grade 3s. Sky Power could be one to keep an eye on during the season. You might make a little bit of profit off him. That's us done for this week.
My NFL bet's looking good again.
Is it? Lovely. So coming up next week, we've Down Ryle, where we have the
Envoy Allen.
Jeez, Envoy Allen is back. We have the Charity Hall Chase, which is one of the weirdest races of the year.
I don't back in that race.
And much, much more.
It's a car crash.
Yeah, well, Paddy Optic won it before, didn't he? And
yeah, probably something that's had a run with it.
something had a run. Is a grade 2. Well, obviously
I'm looking forward to seeing my favourite horse anyway. Envoy Allen.
Tom, when you seen the Cheltenham Festival anti-post video, where he put up Roy Allen, how long did it take you to pick yourself up off the floor?
I think I started staring. I was like, and then I stared for a little bit. And then I started shouting, "What?" And then it came out, he hates that horse.
Yes.
And then it came out, he walked away when we went to look at that horse.
Yeah,
Correct.
I did. I went for a pee.
Yes.
Yeah. I was very surprised. And if anything, I thought the angle was putting him up for the champion chase, but
I got told because he won the bumper that he's fast enough to win a champion chase. And I said to that man, tell me, what bumper winner in the last, I think, 20 years has gone on to win or even contest the champion chase?
I still can't believe you just put him up full stop. For
Exactly.
race.
Fucking none.
It's one of life's many mysteries how you've turned your opinion on Roy Allen around. I keep calling him Roy Allen.
I got many texts and stuff last week saying this is a great pick, so I'm quite happy with it. I'm telling you, he's going to come out this weekend.
Yeah, no, right pick for a champion chase. He's not
No,
going
he
to win.
come out this weekend in that second season novice thing that
I'm
Paul,
bold up, Gold Cup lads.
Oh,
Nichols always sends a horse to 2 mile 4, wins that, favourite for the Ryanair. Shit on that. Champagne Fever. Good horse.
God,
a shout out
one of the worst horses ever.
As Big Toe Dan mentioned, Rachel Blackmore was back on Saturday.
On Balco, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Look how happy he is that she's back. Thank God she's back.
Yeah, Rachel's back, thank God. Yeah. Really
I'm
good
looking
to have
forward
her
to
back.
it. I'm looking forward to Down Ryle on the weekend.
Mm.
See your favourite mare got bet again today, Tom.
Queensbrook.
She is useless, by the way.
When is she my favourite? She was my favourite mare for like a random outsider pick.
I have one, lads. I have one, lads. I know.
It's 10-1. You were the favourites.
And you had the distance of the race wrong and everything.
I did. I can't believe that. That is one of the most colossal feck ups of all time. Was that getting the distance that race wrong? Because that made well, it turns out it didn't make all the difference, but in my mind at the time, it definitely did make all the difference. So, And lads, you forgot to mention, 3 weeks last Friday. We could be in. I think we're, by the sound of it, we're on course to be in Cheltenham.
3 weeks last Friday.
Yeah, Friday just gone. So it's
Friday just gone.
What do you mean we're on course?
We are.
We have flights booked.
We're going.
We're going.
You better sort them tickets, Tom.
We're going. She might not be if she's not working very well, but we're going.
We're going either way.
Kate watches this and she asks, she's running.
You better sort them tickets, and we want tickets for the Paddy Power on the Saturday as well.
Paddy Power as well.
You're
magic them out of thin air.
And Nat'll be able. That knows
Exactly,
people. That knows
like-
people. That knows people.
You know people. Just sort the tickets now.
Hey,
I'm not looking forward to it.
I got to getting you 2 tickets for Brentford. You may get me tickets for the Paddy Power.
Yeah, I get you tickets for Friday. You're an owner.
Oh.
Happy days.
We're entitled to them on Friday. I want them for the Saturday.
Yeah, Friday is null and void, really. We want Saturday ones.
I'm not buying you Saturday tickets. They're at
They want you to
60
buy
quid,
them.
I'd say. No
Ring
chance.
Nash,
You better start ringing people and begging. So
Yeah, we better. It should be a good, really good weekend. After we got over, now lads, I thought someone put that in the comments. Then Jesus Christ,
said just run McFeast on the Saturday.
Please do.
we could enter Shoner twice and withdraw her on the Saturday. That's not a bad shout, actually.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Problem solved.
But I've just got to let the listeners in on this now. Of you two, especially you, Dave, your organising skills of a trip to Cheltenham, I have never seen anything like it.
Horrendous.
That was his fault.
Hey, of course it was my fault.
And the reason we're going to go to London was
Dave, you're
because
not getting away with this. Dave puts in the WhatsApp group, I've booked my flights to Cheltenham, right? So he's flying in on the Sunday to Stansted.
Friday.
On the Friday, he's flying into Stansted. I texted him back and said, she's running in Cheltenham, not bloody Newmarket. So what happened then? We changed. We ended up changing the flights. So the lads changed the flights to Birmingham. So I said, right, I'll fly back with you on the Sunday.
I just want to note I was not in on this Stansted flights.
You were.
No, I was not. Where
was.
did I book my flight to?
He was.
Birmingham.
I'm not even getting into it, but he was.
The reason he thinks it's my fault because I said, if Kate's coming, we're going to go down to London on Saturday.
And then he said...
somehow we got out of this. He said, we're going to
we'll go to a Brentford game. That's what he said.
And then I said, no, we can't because international break. Or they're playing away.
Hence London. And we weren't going to go to the Paddy Power. We're only going to the Friday.
Lies.
But of course, Andrew changed everything. No, that's what Andrew does.
No. Dave gets really excited and starts booking things.
So after Dave has now changed his flights to Birmingham, right, lad? So the worst thing about the Stansted flights, not that Dave was about 500 miles from the racecourse, was that the flight I wanted to get home was at 10 a.m. on a Sunday, right? After a night out in London, presumably, because that's close to the city. So I was a bit skeptical about this. So the next thing, anyway, we've changed our flights to Birmingham. Fantastic. Right near the course. I'll come up and stay there on Saturday. We'll go home on Sunday. What time is the flight on Sunday? 8 a.m.
8:05.
8. Oh, sorry, Dave. That 5 minutes is going to make all the difference at half 5 in the morning. 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning after a big night out in Birmingham. That's now going to turn out to be a cup of tea and slippers on it.
Hold up, Tom. You were the one wants to go on a big night out in Birmingham. I said I wasn't going on a big night out in Birmingham.
Tom, put in. We go for a few drinks in Birmingham. I'll be in bed.
I'm not drinking. I don't care. Thanks, Dave.
I'll be drinking on the Friday, and then on the Saturday, chill.
Just drink.
So the only thing that could make this worse then at this stage, right, is when I say to Andrew, that's fine. I've got to get up at 5:30 on a Sunday. Can you send me the link to the hotel that you've booked, and I'll book a room on the Saturday night? So he sends me on a link to the hotel, and it's a minimum 2-night stay, so I can't even stay in the same hotel.
How did he know it?
That's not your fault, though.
What a disaster! Like it couldn't
just because you were staying with the other owners and the rich people on the Friday. Like that's not our fault.
I'm not. I'm actually kipping at Nat's dad's place to try and save a few quid.
Fucking, he's the one with all the money and he's trying to save you £1. Fucking you, and he's gonna live with us back down as well.
That's too right. I'm not paying parking up there for a week.
I've bad news, Tom.
Your car,
My car is not here.
His car is stuck out in the golf course.
My car is in a different county. It wouldn't go anywhere when I finished playing golf today. So it's in the Carrick on Shore golf course.
If we end up on a bus when I've got up at 5:30 on a Sunday to get a flight, I will not be happy, lads. I'm telling you that much.
Genuinely, mate. Well, I don't have my car. I shouldn't. I don't even know how I'm here, to be honest.
I picked you up. That's how you're here.
Yeah, but I meant get back to Waterford.
Andrew,
Yeah.
the kids are going to have to be without transport for a few days.
Calm, it's okay because Kate doesn't drive anyway.
Oh, brilliant. There we go.
Sorted.
I will hope to have a new car sorted by then. 3 weeks. Think I could do that.
Get a Jeep.
No, and everybody keeps saying getting a Jeep or a van. I don't want a fucking Jeep or
Get
a van.
Jeep.
No,
They're more comfortable.
no, they're not.
Yes, they are.
But for a reason for you, probably.
Yeah. And you never drive me anywhere.
Get a
Only
Jeep.
thing you do is drive me up the fucking wall.
I'll end up with a Jeep then, and Andrew will be like, this is lovely, and I'll hate it.
That's great. So much leg room. Always the first time you ever drove me somewhere.
Someone said, my mother said to me today, you should get a van. He's like, why? Oh, you could like drive your equipment around. I have a fucking gym. All my equipment's in it. I don't need a van.
You leave Mary alone. She's a saint.
Oh my God, like.
Anyway.
So that was an interesting few days trying to book our trip
That's
to
how we're going
Cheltenham
to
anyway.
But
But I think
no.
we're going to document it all, though, aren't we?
Yeah. The PG stuff.
God only knows. Anything could happen.
Oh, if she ends up winning,
Apparently she's not even running.
flights will need to be rebooked again to a week later.
Those racing blogger videos will be put to shame if she wins, lads. I'm telling you, there will be absolute carnage at Cheltenham.
Might never be allowed back in. Or we mightn't even go home. We might just stay there for the Paddy Power from the Friday to the Saturday.
Sounds good.
Sleep in the car park and just walk back in again.
I was thinking of sleeping in one of the VIP rooms.
Yeah, no, it should be good. As long as she runs her race, that's the main thing.
Exactly. As long as it doesn't take us 4 hours to get from somewhere to somewhere, it's fine.
I can
At
still
least
go.
you tried.
Yeah, it was your fault.
Of course it's my fault. Of course it's my fault. It's my fault for telling you to flying to Birmingham.
I like London. I might still go.
So stubborn he will now. Do you know that? I'm not going to the Paddy Power. I'm
Yeah.
going down to London to
Come on,
Nando's.
Might go Chelsea game. They're a good team. Better than United.
International break.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, bollocks.
We could
Go
go
on.
watch England playing in Wembley, lads. You'd love that, wouldn't you? We could go watch
I'm
England
watching.
play.
Should we watch Harry Maguire, will we? The statue.
Could just see you two in England shirts.
I wouldn't. My fuck. Pay me enough money now to do that. Anyway, that's us done. We're back on Wednesday for Down Royal, Charlie Hall, and much more. So we go through comments, or do you want to just?
We kind of went through them as we're going along.
Okay. Anyway, so we're back on Wednesday for another weekend preview and another Cheltenham Festival anti-post video episode number 5, where Tom will have 6 selections for the time he has missed. But if you want to keep an eye on all our Cheltenham Festival selections, head over to thefinishingline.com and you will find all our selections up to date as of now and everything else. So until then, have a good week, and we will talk to you on Wednesday for another weekend preview.